Well, I did not see that one quite coming. Liverpool are out of the FA Cup after a 1-0 loss to Plymouth Argyle. Everybody's expecting a meltdown. Like, everybody is expecting this massive meltdown. Everybody is expecting us to go crazy and throw the toys out the pram and forget about everything we've done, everything Liverpool have done this season. Forgetting about the position that we are in every trophy, and we lose one game and everything's gone to crap. I just don't get it. Would I have liked to win that game today? Yes, I would have. But is that an important game? It's not really. You answer me this, okay? What's the bigger game over the next few days? Before even today's game happened. Today's game against Plymouth in the FA Cup 4th round, or Wednesday's Merseyside derby against Everton. The answer is a hypothetical one. It literally is, right? I said this on all my other social medias before I recorded this, and I'll say it here as well. We have been here before, on all four fronts, to the very last of the season. And it's all blown up in our face. It is such a difficult thing to do. It is such a difficult thing to do, to actually compete to the very, very highest level in all four trophies throughout an entire season. And that, I think, ultimately is why I do not feel that bad about that result. And I don't think Arne Slot or the players care massively about that result either. If there was one game to lose this season, you would probably say it's that one. You would. Well, that or a Carabao Cup game, whatever. But I think, if anything, this gives Liverpool a fantastic platform from here to the end of the season to fully focus on the two trophies that define your season. The Premier League and the Champions League. And that will never change. That will never, ever change. Lads, we have won FA Cups before. We have won Carabao Cups, League Cups, whatever you want to call them. Capital One Cups, whatever. We've won those before. We've done domestic doubles. And we've literally looked at the season afterwards as a failure. Remember that? Okay? These trophies are nice to win. And if Liverpool were not in the position that we are in currently, in the Premier League, the Champions League, League Cup final, whatever, then today would not be an acceptable result. But because we will most likely win the Premier League, because we have as good a chance as anybody of winning the Champions League, because we are in a League Cup final, already a cup final this season, it's okay. So any Liverpool fan out there who is pulling their hair out over that, just chill, okay? Because we win on Wednesday. Ultimately, today is completely forgotten about. And look, today was far from good enough. It was a strange team from Slot. It was a strange squad from Slot, resting so many players. I completely get, especially the big players, but Liverpool needed more experience on that pitch. Liverpool needed more quality on that pitch. But Liverpool's performance was very strange, and we will get into that. But yeah, watching that, and the more kind of Plymouth came into it as the game went on, the more I kind of felt we don't need to win this. We just don't. And people can say that's copium or whatever, but just look at the facts. Look at the positions that we are in this season. And you tell me, what would you prefer? Is the FA Cup everything? Is even the League Cup everything? But well, we're in the final, so we might as well win it. But yeah, you tell me, okay? Anyway, let's delve into it. Liverpool player ratings for today's 1-0 loss against Plymouth. First up, Caoimhín Kelleher, one of the few players today I thought was good. I thought he was good. He made a couple of good saves. Fair play to Plymouth. They really tested him throughout that game. He made a massive save in the second half at 1-0, which gave Liverpool a chance in the last few minutes, or the last 15-20 minutes or whatever. It was great save from close range after a good cross in the box. I thought the distribution was fairly okay. I'm going to give Caoimhín Kelleher a 7. He was good. James McConnell started at right back today, so I'll go with him next. I thought he was decent. I genuinely thought he was decent. I thought his passing was good. I thought at right back, the shift he had to put in there, I thought he was good defensively. He had obviously that shot in the first half that was comfortably saved by the goalkeeper. I think it took a deflection on the way. The only criticism I would have of James McConnell today is in the second half, it was the keeper, the Plymouth keeper, who came out and then who didn't clear the danger from across, and McConnell had a good chance with nobody in goal just outside the box, and he shot wide. But apart from that, I thought he had a pretty solid performance, and he was playing in positions today in which he's not very used to. I'll say 6. On to the centre-backs. First up, Jarrell Kwanzaa. Not great. Not great. I mean, for a side with the quality of Plymouth, they had quite a lot of joy going through the middle today. I mean, I thought Kwanzaa did well at times in the air. I thought Kwanzaa did well at times with tackles, but there's just that element now, and I hate to say it, I think it's ever since that United game last season, it's just, you feel there's a real lack of confidence there. And especially when it gets into kind of high pressure situations, you certainly do not see the best from Jarrell Kwanzaa, and it's one thing he's going to have to do better with. I'm not sure if he's going to be in Arne Slot's plans next season. Time will tell. But between his defending, between his distribution, not great. I'm going to say 4. Next up, Joe Gomez. He went off after 10 minutes. I'm not sure if it was a recurrence of the injury he previously had that he just pretty much came back from. But yeah, he can't really be rated after 10 minutes. I'll say 6, but I mean, all I would say is I hope the injury's not serious, and it didn't look it, so that's good at least. Costas Tsimikas, I thought he defended well up against Bundu, who was a handful for the Liverpool defence to deal with in that game, but had a good few opportunities going forward, got into some good positions and did very, very little with them. In a game like today, you know, you're looking for that bit of quality all over the pitch, really, but you're looking for that bit of quality in terms of crosses, in terms of passes, you know, the golfing quality, the golfing class between two of these sides, and you didn't really see that from players like Tsimikas today, especially going forward. From what I'm saying, you know, you usually see from Trent or Robertson or McAllister in midfield or whatever. So, look, as I said, decent defensively, but a lot to be desired going forward. I'm going to say 5. Wataru Endo, on his birthday, I thought he was very, very good. I thought he was honestly, easily, by an absolute mile, Liverpool's best player. He was excellent. And he's a fella that really never has a bad performance. And you can put him anywhere and he'll get stuck in. He is all over, hard work. He gets stuck in. And as I said, you can put him anywhere in the pitch and he will always do a job, but he'll always do a good job, you know? He'll always put a shift in. And today was no different. Obviously, he took over as captain when Gomez left the pitch. He was in at centre-back for a bit. Look, he was everywhere. And as always, anywhere the slot needed him, he was there and he did a job. And he's certainly one of the few players today that can really hold their head up high after that performance. Endo, I'm going to say 8. Trainioni, I mean, look, I really like Trainioni. I think he's a very promising youngster, but very little effect on that game. And look, I think ultimately you probably point more at the manager for playing him, for starting him in that game. A very physical game, obviously, a game in where you have a side, you know, trying their absolute best to kind of pull you down to their level. They're, you know, trying their best to make it as tough for you as possible. Their defending is as compact. You're not going to have much time on the ball. It's a very tough game for a youngster to kind of start in that game. And I think it showed. Obviously, he had an early shot blocked in the first half. He looked like he struck it well. I'm not sure where it obviously would have ended up. But apart from that, pretty much non-existent in that game. I'm going to say 4 for Trainioni. Harvey Elliott, obviously playing in the number 10 position today, and I love Harvey Elliott. I really do. I honestly, I'm a huge Harvey Elliott backer, but today, very, very bad. Very, very, very bad. Liverpool had no creative outlet at all. And look, you look at everybody for that. Everybody in midfield, everybody in the front line, whatever, but Liverpool had no creative outlet. And you have to put a lot of that on your most creative player as well, your number 10. And Elliott was pretty non-existent as well. We were getting overrun in the midfield. And I thought it was crazy that Jones never came on, because Liverpool was crying out for one more experience, but one, I'd say more creativity, but two more experience. But look, that didn't happen. Obviously gave the penalty away as well. I don't know what he was doing with his hands up there. What's the purpose of that? Look, it happens. It's unlucky, but yeah, poor. Very, very, very poor. And I hate to say it, but 3. Federico Chiesa, it took a while for him to really even get into the game at all, to actually get a couple of touches on the ball. Felt like the first 20 or 30 minutes, he barely touched the ball at all. Second half, I think he dropped a little bit deeper. He had some defensive work, which he did well in. But again, a bit like Elliott in that number 10 position, just created nothing, was pretty non-existent. It was in some good areas, got into some good positions, but did absolutely nothing with them. I expected an awful lot more from both of these players today. Obviously, Elliott and now Chiesa, but it just didn't happen. It just didn't materialise. And look, at the end of the day, there can be days like this, So, Chiesa, I'm going to say another 3. Luis Diaz, another player who you're looking at, like the 2 aforementioned, to do something today, to take the game by the scruff of the neck and show why Liverpool are where they are and Plymouth are where they are. But it just didn't happen. And sorry to say, but his form early on the season was fantastic, but it's completely died a death now. If he's not really affecting the game, a game like that, then you know what I mean? He's scored in 5 Premier League games this season. There's rumours about Slot wanting him out amongst a couple of others in the summer, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's because we're not seeing enough. Compare him to somebody like Cody Gakpo. And that's what should be the standard. Another poor performance today. 3. Diogo Jota, definitely our best attacker anyway. For somebody who was so isolated throughout that game, he made the best out of what was a very, very difficult 90 minutes. He was very unlucky with the half volley in the second half not to score. The keeper pulled out a fantastic save. The fair play to the Plymouth goalkeeper today, by the way. Pulled out a couple of massive saves. He had to, even though Liverpool, it's not like it was a constant thing for us to put together good attacks and good chances, but when called upon, he did really, really well. But first half didn't do much, Diogo Jota, but I thought second half he got more involved. First half, really, Liverpool didn't do much, and that's not the fault of Diogo Jota because we were barely getting the ball up to him, like the other forwards, but they seen more of the ball than Jota did in the first half. Second half, we was more involved, got into a couple of good areas, was unlucky, couple of passes astray that he should have done better with. Overall, I should say, definitely our best attacker, but not great either, obviously. 5. On to the subs. Isaac Mabaya, the academy graduate. Great to see him out there today, obviously coming in for Gomez after 10 odd minutes. I thought he did a good job. Apart from a couple of nervy moments, I thought he did a good job. He looks like a strong, athletic fella. He looks like a good player to watch. He looks like a promising player going forward for sure for Liverpool. And I thought in a game like that, hostile atmosphere, obviously coming up against a very physical team, I thought he did well overall. I'm gonna say 6. Darwin Núñez came on around 58 minutes or 60 minutes, and I expected more. I did. But in Núñez's defense, he was getting really no service, as was Jota, really, when he was playing in that position. And it's it was just a really, really strange performance. I genuinely do question if Slot or the players cared, especially with the fact that, especially with the team that was picked, but especially with the performance. It took us so long in that game to actually really look like we were arsed. But Nunez, I did expect more, but it is fair to say that Liverpool did create more, and Liverpool had better chances when he came onto the pitch. He tried his best, as he always does. So not terrible. 5. Finally, another youngster, Trent Coney-Doherty. Lovely to see him come on and get some minutes, especially as an Irishman. Really, really happy to see him play. I thought he came on and he looked decent. I thought he looked mature for his age. He got on the ball a couple of times. He did well. He laid the ball off a couple of times. He had 1 or 2 passes. He seemed to settle in quite quickly. And like Mabaya and like a lot of these youngsters, definitely one for the future. And I hope to see him play again this season. I'm going to say 6. Arne Slot, it's fair to say he didn't get it right today. And this happens. It's football. I absolutely adore Arne Slot, but he got it massively wrong today. The team was not strong enough. I wasn't awful surprised with the 11 that he picked, but the bench was certainly nowhere near strong enough. I completely agree with resting all of the big boys before a big game on Wednesday. The derby, obviously, against Everton. But there needed to be more quality in that bench. I think there needed to be more quality or more experience, one of the two, in that team, especially in that midfield. And look, he got it wrong today. I said that twice now. I don't even know why. I love you, Arnie. But yeah, as I said, I'll say it again. Through that game and after that game, honestly, I don't care that much. I don't think most Liverpool fans do either. I wonder if he looked at this game a little bit like the PSV game not too long ago. We're already in a cup final. We're in this position in the Premier League. We're in this position in the Champions League. And we have a massive game on Wednesday that we need to be good for to win. And a 9-point lead, if we get that, is absolutely huge. So, and the fact that we had 2 first-team players on the bench and only 1 came on. I mean, surely if you're losing 1-0, and you've half an hour or so left, you're going to bring on your 2 first-team players. Curtis Jones never came on today, which tells me as well that Arne Slot was certainly not prioritising this game. But look, in terms of all that I mentioned, I'll have to say 3 out of 10. He absolutely got it wrong, but ultimately, I think what he has done will pay off. I think the result will be beneficial for our season, and just like the PSV game, resting the players, especially the top players, the big players, before a big game. Obviously, that was against Bournemouth upcoming at the weekend. I think it'll pay off for the Everton game on Wednesday. Always trust in the manager. Anyway, that is my match reaction and Liverpool player ratings to today's disappointing 1-0 loss to Plymouth Argyle in the 4th round of the FA Cup. If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Please subscribe to my channel. Look, not a great day at the office, but as I said, ultimately, Wednesday's the game. Wednesday is the game, and we get 3 points there. Who cares? Who cares about today? Of course, I'll be live for the big game, Liverpool versus Everton at Goodison Park on Wednesday, so make sure to be there and check that out on the channel. And yeah, we're out the FA Cup, but I suppose I'll have to console myself with a comfy lead at the top of the Premier League, with a perfect Champions League campaign so far, and a League Cup final. Keep the heads up. On to Wednesday. Up the Reds. I'll see you in the next one.